thousands of Starbucks workers who are set to strike at hundreds of stores across the country. Whit Johnson is at the Times Square location with more on what's being called the Red Cup Rebellion.
It all started on July 30th, which was a Friday, 3 days before Ontario's civic holiday, a holiday that companies can decide whether they give you the day off because it's not an enforced holiday. I was taking my lunch break, munching on some Wendy's salad because, your boy's trying to eat a little bit healthy, when I was talking to Tim. And I was like, yo, Tim, I can't wait for Monday. Time and a half pay is going to look sweet. You know what Tim told me? Buddy, I'm not going to lie to you. I've been here for 15 years and they never gave out time and a half pay. But the management doesn't want you to know, so keep that hush hush. I said, what?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Nah, because genuinely, a company has the right to determine what pay they give you on one specific day, even though a lot of the times it's unreasonable considering the amount of money that they make. Like if a company's making $1 billion and you're getting paid peanuts, in my opinion, don't make much sense when you're the one making the company its money. So after hearing that, you know what I decided to do? Considering the fact, once again, that this is the busiest day of the company and we've had some really busy days. We've had some really stressful days. The day which they make the most money, the day where we're encouraged to be with our families. And the thing is here, right? The issue with this is that we were allowed to take time off, but they told us not to. They were like, please don't take time off. It's a really busy day. We need you, right? If you need your workers and they're given a day to go spend with their family, pay your workers. Pay your workers. Okay? And even more so, don't keep it a secret that you're not doing so and under the guise that everybody's getting the pay. That's, to me, is really gross. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Like it's bad practice. It's bad practice. You should have communication. As a result, you know what I did? I started a strike. Okay, no. That would be irrational, right? So I talked to the manager of the building of the 3 restaurants. And I sat down with him. And you know what he told me? He said, it's been 20 years, kid. Nothing's going to change till something happens that affects the company's money. So you know what I did? I started a strike. Okay. No, I didn't start a strike. That, once again, the story is going to make me sound like an irrational, like hothead, but I didn't. I actually spoke to an HR lady who happened to pass by that day, and like, call it fate, I gotta thank the big man upstairs. That actually saved me. So I spoke to her, and she must have been a good HR lady, or so I thought at the time, because she saw me and I was like, I have something that I would like to talk to you about, and she seemed genuinely concerned. So she brought me to the office and we spoke, and she was like, what's going on? And I said, it's the most busy day of the year, this civic holiday coming up. And, we're stressed. There's a lot of elderly people here who are excited for their time and a half pay, who said that they were going to use the money to help out their children and grandchildren, buy them some gifts or help them pay with their tuition and so on and so forth. There are a lot of older ladies who were dealing with arthritis and pain from standing up all day. And I said, and I think it's just really bad practice for you to be pretending that we don't get time and a half pay, that we do get it. And she said, what are you talking about? Almost made me feel stupid. I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, you guys do get the pay. And I was like, I just talked to the manager of the building and he said, nah. And she was like, what? I'm like, yeah. She's like, what? I was like, yeah. So she said, I'll give you my email, follow up. And you know what the thing is that sometimes HR people, fingers crossed behind their back, they can do you dirty. They don't actually care about the workers. They are just a tool used by higher management in order to hush everybody up. So I knew that there was a solid chance that she was going to go talk to somebody and say, yo, this kid is blabbing. He's out here. Won't shut his trap. We need to get him out of here, right? So knowing this, even though I talked to the HR lady, I knew she probably wasn't going to do anything. So at this point, I did actually start a strike, or I started. So I went back down to my Starbucks crew, my squad, and it was funny. Like supervisors and all, I told them, and I was like, I don't think I want to show up Monday because I think that's extremely bad practice. And they were like, yeah, do your thing. Like us as supervisors, we gotta show up, but tell whoever else, tell them not to show up. And I was like, yeah. Everybody except for one person. His name is Brad, and we'll come back to Brad in a little bit. Everybody in the shop decided they weren't coming. I was like, dang. Okay. So afterwards, I went up and hit my boy. We'll call him Michael. Hit up my boy Michael at the Wendy's, and I was like,
Hey, bro, did you know we're not getting time and a half pay on Monday? Yeah, I know, it's pretty messed up. Like, the busiest day of the year, the day that's going to be the most stressful. But, like, the worst thing is that they're trying to keep it hush-hush. Like, it's been this way for a long time, and they don't want anybody to know. I already got most of the Starby staff not to show up on Monday. Would you be interested at all? Yeah?
and just like that, he was on board. Later on, I go back to the Starbucks. Michael got the 2/3 of the Wendy's staff not to show up that day, and I was like, "Dang, that's crazy! We really got something going right now." So I was all hyped up. I was all excited. I go hit up the Timmy's. The Timmy's people, they didn't want to miss out on the opportunity to skip out on work. Like it's teenagers and university students for the most part. Okay, for anybody who wasn't that, for the older ladies, obviously. It's not like us who can just kind of switch over to a next place, who don't really need the money or the job that badly. For them, I didn't get them involved, and for people who were actually worried about getting in trouble because like we could all get fired. Obviously, the company would lose a whole lot of money, but we could. I know how to deal with high tension situations. Okay, so I told them, just say my name, okay? Like I'm Beyonce. Just call my name if there's any sort of trouble. Just say it was me. Tell the judge it was my fault, and I'll get sued. So that was the Friday. Okay, that's how the day ends. Now, obviously, this plan had some holes in it. Okay, if you guessed that I was going to get in trouble, you was right. So this rinky-dink plan comes back and bites me in the butt. But I was ready. Okay, I was ready to get bitten. So it's Saturday, 2 days before the planned strike on the civic holiday, which is always the first Monday in August. I'm all excited up. I'm talking to Matt. I'm like, yo, maybe we should plan like a beach day so that everybody comes along because some people are going to fold if they don't have anything to go to. And I get a phone call from one of my homies at Starbucks. They're like, yo, bro, it's not looking good, fam. It's not looking good. Bob is absolutely furious. This man is steaming, piping, smoke coming out of his ears. It's not looking good, my boy. You're gonna get fired.
Fired.
I beg your pardon?
Fired.
But I...
She didn't actually say that, but she, you got the gist of it. And I was like, oh, dang, son. So I was like, oh, dang, like this is actually not looking good. And obviously when the cold water hits, like you start to think. I almost wanted to fold like an omelet. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I've been to the principal's office my fair share. I've been in the hot seat before, but I'd be lying to you if I said, I wasn't a little bit scared in that moment. A few minutes later, I decided I was going in 10 toes. I decided I'd already made my bed, so I had to lie in it. And I did what any good Christian boy would do. And I started praying. And you know what? I thought maybe I was being unreasonable, because like it's not obviously not a black and white situation, right? There's no right answer here. I just thought that it was really unfair. So I prayed and I said, God, if I deserve to get fired here, let me get fired. But if there's another option, then I would definitely help. I would take the help, So here's where things get spicy. All right. They call me in to work. I hop into my car. I hop out my car. I walk into the building And as soon as I put my foot in, they're like, yo, you? Office, go meet Bob. All right? And here's how that meeting went.
Have a seat. No, have a seat. I need an explanation right now, and I need it right now. I cannot fathom, I cannot begin to understand why it is that I come in this morning and every single person on shift is talking about a strike. You're gonna have to explain it to me because it doesn't make not a little bit of sense to me. Explain! Please do. Please. Yes, me and you had a conversation, and you expressed to me that you wouldn't be able to do anything about it, that nothing would change unless something happens to the company's money. Do you realize how much money this company would lose if nobody showed up on Monday? Do you realize how much thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars we would lose out on? This company would lose a ridiculous amount of money. No, I do realize that. I do realize that if there's a strike, that the company will lose lots of money. And I genuinely value workplace integrity so highly. Like, I truly believe that it's extremely important that you don't burn bridges, no matter whether it's before, during, or after working at a particular workplace. My parents have sincerely instilled that in me. It would be absolutely reckless to go about and just start a strike a day after you informed me that there was nothing that you could do about it.
You want to see some real gaslighting? You want to see some gaslighting? This is how I responded.
However, I do feel that a little bit disappointed, and actually I felt as though that this work environment was somewhere that was comfortable, somewhere that was safe, and it would be a safe space for you and I to have this conversation. And I'm genuinely disappointed by the fact that our conversation has turned into something that puts me in a compromising position, a position in which I'm potentially going to get in trouble, because I voiced my concerns to you in a very respectful and I thought, reasonable manner, and now it's caused a huge stir. No, nobody said that you were in trouble. Not a single person said that you were in trouble. That's not why I brought you into my office this morning. The issue is that I'm trying to get to the bottom of this situation. I don't think you realize, for 20 whole years, I've been here for way longer than you've ever been here. And nobody's ever brought it up until me and you had a conversation yesterday. So please, I'm just trying to get to the bottom of the situation.
But one of the things that I made sure to mention was the fact that Bob, I don't think the issue is that nobody knew about that nobody cared. Is that nobody knew. All right, that's the big issue, is that you're keeping it a secret. And obviously, I'm already talking about being a Christian boy, and I was lying. Okay, it's not my proudest moment, admittedly, but I was cornered. Okay, and think about the grandmas who were getting robbed of their extra money. Okay, that's what I was thinking about. After that speech, which deserved some type of award, he wasn't completely convinced. So he asked me to call the only person from Starbucks who didn't want to participate in the strike. All right. Luckily for me, I caught him in the stairway going to the office. But yeah, it wasn't looking good for your boy. Your boy was kind of screwed, finito. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that person is the person who was gonna snitch was Brad. He's the only person, the one that I mentioned earlier, the only person who didn't agree to hopping into the strike. So basically, I was screwed. My goose was cooked. It was bon voyage, fini for you, right? And everyone knew that, like, my boy from Wendy's, Michael, and I had orchestrated the whole thing, and they just needed evidence. He pulled up to the Starbucks kitchen, like. And, I was going to be given the boot. The funniest part was that, like, Matt, you could tell, because we had just known each other for, like, a few weeks, right? Or maybe, like, a month. I could see it in his eyes. He was looking to see, like, if he didn't explicitly say it, even though I kind of showed that.
Hey, man, sleek. It's not looking good. it is not looking good right now. Our goose is cooked. We're roast pig right now. Bob knows that it was us, and like, yeah, obviously because we told everybody to call our names. You got any brilliant ideas? Any escape hatch, Sherlock Holmes? No. I.
But he didn't explicitly say. He just wanted to see like what was my level of crazy. Like, you just meet someone and they start a strike out of nowhere. Okay, like it does seem a little bit crazy. Oh, I was far from my mic. I hope that sounded okay. So yeah, there I was ready to get fired. And do you know how awkward it is working knowing that your stupid decisions was about to get you fired? Like the most awkward thing in the world. Like I was training some kiddos and they were looking at me like, "Are you okay, bro? Like you don't look like you're in the right headspace." Of course I'm not in the right headspace. I'm about to get fired. But they didn't know that. I didn't want to get them entangled in that mess. So yeah, I'm working and my phone rings and I'm like, who is calling me? Because everybody who knows me knows that I'm working at Starbucks right now, and it ain't no joke. I take my Starbucks thing seriously. Why do you think I'm starting a strike? No, but I get a call, and it's the lady from HR, and I'm like, oh, I got fired early. She's like, hi. Yeah, so, you followed up with your email last night, and you said that you wanted to continue this conversation. I'm defeated. I'm in the dumps, okay? I'm looking like Jimmy Butler in the bubble. I'm out here looking like that Popeyes lady who just worked like a 16-hour shift. I'm tired, okay? I tell her, no, not really. And she goes, what? I'm like, something in my head was like, maybe a miracle. Maybe this is where the Disney moment pulls through. Sorry. I was just in the middle of making a drink. Yes, I did indeed want to follow up. She goes, oh yeah, so I checked and you guys don't actually get the time and a half pay. I was like, lady, this is why you called me? Lady, this is why you called me? Are you for real right now? I was like, in my head, of course, I was like, I already knew this. But she continues and she goes, yes, it is true, you were right. But I did speak to the CEO of the company and he told me that during these times where it's been difficult for everybody, because this is during the pandemic, we need to ensure that our workers get paid appropriately. So, starting today, every worker across Ontario will be getting the time and a half pay.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT!
When I tell you I was shook, I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I genuinely could not believe it. I couldn't fathom the fact that this had worked. I was literally on the chopping block. The guillotine was about to come through. I was a dead man. All right, it's Starbucks. It's not that serious. But I was about to lose my job. And all of a sudden, a miracle came through. I thanked my God over and over and over again. I was like, yes. If you think that Michael and I didn't hop into the kitchen, I was like, was yelling in the kitchen, bouncing about, like jumping for joy. You're lying, because we did. A whole bunch of people, everybody who was in on it, because the HR lady called the building, and everybody who was in on it came together at the Starbucks kitchen, and we were celebrating. They were like, we can't believe you pulled it off. How did you talk to the CEO? And the best part about it was that Bob, the manager of the building, had no idea how I communicated with the CEO either. So he was tiptoeing around me for the rest of my tenure there. And it was just a fantastic story. I went home. I told my mom about the whole thing. She was in absolute tears because she was so glad that I was able to do something for a lot of people. And she, like me, is not a fan of that structured corporate life where people don't have the room to be themselves. It was something of joy. It was something joyous. It's a story that I'll never forget. In hindsight, I could have definitely gone about it in a different way. It was really funny because Michael and I both have girlfriends. Well, I still have my girlfriend from then, who really appreciate her. But both of our girlfriends told us that we were going to get fired. And we both thought we were going to get fired too. But it was just funny that we had that. And yeah, I actually made some friends from that situation that me and them are so close to this day, and yeah, it was a fantastic time. It was great. All in all, I'm not a big fan of big corporations, and I would like to make some more informational videos like these ones. Please like, subscribe, comment. Any ideas for future videos, any criticism, critique, I'm here for it. Thank you so much for watching. Peace. Okay, that was really bad. That was cringy. Peace though.
But I can't have her. Now I gotta leave her.